And yes, Eric is going. We are live. This is Thomas Metal 75, and this is your Massachusetts Beer Reviews. And today is a theme in which, according to our good buddy in Brooklyn, New York, Michael Kormaroff, his local establishment to buy beer says that this beer company is dead. Well, we're going to find out if it's dead or alive. This is Rouge Brewing Company we're doing from Newport, Oregon. And the beer that I have to discuss with the Rouge Brewing Company examination is their Hazelnut Brown Nectar, which I believe is supposed to be a brown ale. We also have joining us this evening, we have Michael Kormaroff, as I say, Brooklyn, New York. We have John H. Pierre back on the examinations from Mobile, Alabama, TV Rambler. John, letter H, Pierre. Go search for him on YouTube and find his reviews. Good stuff for the beer community. And the community legend, Jay Terrio, Louisiana Beer Reviews. And we do have John Anille, who comes on every week. He's having some internet connection
audio problems.
Mishaps, audio problems. So he jumped off, and he's going to try to get right back on here. I believe he also has the Hazelnut Brown Nectar. So let's go right down the line, starting with John H. Pierre. Which Rouge beer did you bring this evening, John?
Hey, guys. Can you hear me pretty good?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me pretty good?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I am drinking the Dead Guys Rouge, Dead Guy Ale by Rouge. I've had this before. I don't remember what score I gave it, but so we'll see. Like I said, I'm trying to get my senses on this beer again. So
cool. This could be.
I think I've done Dead Guys Ale already.
This could be a big Dead Guy Ale review, so you'll hear a lot about that beer, I bet. So John Anille has Hazelnut Brown Nectar, correct?
Right.
Cool.
Can you guys hear me?
Nope. Your audio, you sound like crap, unfortunately. It's not you personally. Sorry.
Well, maybe he could just type. Maybe he could type in the comments, and then you could read what he's typing.
Yeah, I would definitely complain to internet provider because this is a common theme with.
I can hear you crystal clear. I can hear you crystal clear.
Anyways, brown nectar, hazelnut brown nectar is what John Anille has got.
Hey guys, is my volume pretty good? Am I okay?
John, you're perfect.
You're good. Let's hear about Michael Kormaroff's beer.
I'm another dead guy with the other.
What's Jay? Jay is a dead guy?
Yeah, I was at the grocery store, and I noticed over the years that there's less and less Rouge, okay? And then when you start talking about this a couple of weeks ago, they only had one Rouge. So I said, well, I'll get the dead guy, and I was scared they were going to sell out. So the manager at the store said, what are you looking for? And I said, oh, I'm getting Rouge Dead Guy Ale because they're doing an examination tonight of Rouge beers. He said, and this is what he said, Rouge, that's kind of dead. That's kind of dead. Meaning it doesn't sell anymore. It's like a nothing brand. They don't keep any in stock. He said, he told me this. He said, remember we used to have a whole row of it. I said, yeah, all kind of different brands. Now, nothing. And Michael had a similar experience, huh, Michael?
Okay, mine's a little bit different. We have space issues in the co-op. They can only handle so many items of all the different companies. And what they're saying is, why would we want to put a whole bunch of Rouges on if all it does is sit on the shelf? So, and it doesn't move. So, I was fortunate, and they said we still have the Dead Guy, but that may be numbered as well because they could replace it with some other brand. And it's in Oregon, and that hurts it. Not that the
that's the common theme.
I don't know if it's just a state of the beer's brewed that is hurting this beer, but I'm wondering if the beer that you have, before we get to the next question, I'm wondering if what you're saying about the beer at your food co-op might mean that we could potentially, if we can find a dating system on the bottles, if that means that we probably have older beers from Rouge if they're not selling all that well.
Do you know where the Rouge date would be?
At the very bottom of the bottle, and mine is from the 26th day of 2018. So mine is not super fresh, but that should be all right with the strong.
I don't see any indication of that.
Gotta hold it
Neither
up.
do I. I'm looking at my
Look.
bottle right now. I see none.
I'm talking about the bottom.
No,
You're saying the
Me
actual
too.
bottom of
Looking
the
at the-
bottle.
I
No,
don't see anything on the bottom of my bottle.
Black on brown. That's why it's hard to see. You got to shine light through
same
it.
here.
Yeah, if you can see that in 1080p, you'll let me know.
You got condensation, but it's there, but nobody can see it.
I don't
Put the
believe-
date, guys.
We'll find out. This is old as dirt beer, I bet you. So let's be positive about this. So the next thing we do on this channel as we pour our beers, right, is I like to go down the line and ask people's opinions of Rogue before we start the examination. So Jean H. Pierre, what are your thoughts going into the Rogue beer examination this evening?
Well, nothing really. I know that Rogue is, again, the Dead Guys Ale is their only, I guess, their signature beer. Like many, yeah. Well, and also they got their stout too, which I did see today at Rouse's. It was $6.99 for I think maybe the 22-ounce bottle.
Ooh.
I'm not sure. Also, they had the Dead Guy Ale also in the 22-ounce bottle. So I just said, let me just get the 11.5-ounce bottle or 12-ounce bottle, whatever you want.
How much, John? How much did you pay for the
$2.59 for just one bottle at Rouse's here in Mobile? That was a little high, but I guess, you know.
John, I underpaid for it compared to everybody else, but I thought $1.82 was a lot to pay for it.
I got
enough.
Yeah, that's cheap. That's a good price.
That's actually an okay price.
I got an update for you. You probably can't even see it, but I'm noticing right around here.
That's where the date is on the side?
Not on the very bottom of the bottle, on mine. At least on mine.
Okay.
And I can't tell what it says because it's some kind of a lot code. It says 233D21102.
You want me to give you
I
my
found
opinion
mine
of it?
too. It's on the side, but it's right here.
Let's go down the line, and then when we get to Jay, we'll talk about the dating system there. So yeah,
but I can't. Oh.
If you don't break up too bad, John Anile, what are your thoughts and opinions on the Rogue Brewing Company going into examination? Okay, we'll come back to John Anile. Michael Komarov, what are your opinions of the Rogue?
Well, I've had the Dead Guy before, and when my wife was in Portland, she was able to buy at the airport.
No.
When she was there, which is shocking to me, like from an airport bar, one of these big bottles of their sesquintennial, which was celebrating how many years they were in Oregon or whatever, the Oregon sesquintennial, and it was a big bottle, and it was amazing. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I waited a little while to have it, but I enjoyed it, and those are the only two Rogues I've ever had. I know there's a Rogue Club that Jay is a member of.
Yes.
And I know there is a Rogue Club, but I've never been a member of that. But they were a quality brewer, I thought, but I guess they've declined because the distributor is the reason Mike Kolb is not doing it. They're not pushing it is the thing. So in other words, she takes from the distributor, and what the distributor is saying is it's not selling well. So I guess she's going to stock the Dead Guy as long as she can handle it.
And that's it.
And they brought a whole 6-pack up. I bought one. We'll see how long the 5 sit on the shelf. If they move, I assume she'll continue to buy the Dead Guy Ale at least. That's how I figure they operate, I guess.
Okay. So
they may have 175 different kinds of beer in the food co-op. Maybe even more than that.
So on to Jay. John H. Pierre, you have a comment.
Yeah, I was going to say, guys, I mean, with these beers, just like anything, if it's not being pushed, it's not selling, why the hell are you going to keep it on the shelf? It's, that's what these stores are about. Push it. No matter if it's the cheapest beer to the, exquisite, stuff. So.
Yep, that's all valid points there.
I did find the date where Eric said it was.
But is it like a lot code as I described?
Yeah, and it's it was born on 1/23/18, which makes it 6 months old. Which for my box should be fine.
I would guess that mine says 11/02/17, but it doesn't have anything after the 02, which is kind of strange to me. But let's get to Jay Theriault. He's got an opinion on that. And what is your opinion on Rouge Brewery going into this examination, Jay Theriault?
Well, we're talking about push it, and I think that was the advice that Salt and Pepper gave.
Yep.
But they're not pushing it real good. Hey, there's not much, and it fizzed right away, so that was kind of disappointing.
I agree.
It's copper, you know, appearance. Okay, look. 5 years ago, there was so many Rogue beers in the local stores. It was just like everywhere. And I am a member of the Rogue Nation, so they even sent me a membership card as a member of the Rogue Nation. But I always found that their beers were good. I enjoyed them generally, but I found they were very expensive. Those bomber bottles were very expensive, and what you got was usually not worth what you laid out. You know what I mean? Like, you lay out a lot of money. Like, I paid $2.49 for this 12-ounce bottle. And, you know, come on now. That's not a good deal. So
how much again, Jay? You said $2 and what?
49 cents. That's $14.94 a six-pack. Oh, no, I don't think so. So my opinion about Rogue is that I'm not surprised that people are reporting bad performance, and that the store manager today told me that it's kind of dead, because I've been noticing that. It's just, and you know what? That's their problem. That's not my problem.
Yeah, my thoughts going into the examination are that my personal opinion, I know Rogue doesn't do it exclusively, but especially with like a hazelnut brown nectar, as an example, since that's what I'm drinking tonight. They seem to be really, I mean, they got Dead Guy Ale, right? That's their flagship. But besides that, I think they're just primarily well known for doing all these different kinds of flavored ales and flavored beers. Like they did that, what do you call, I forget what that brand is called. The they did a sriracha beer, they do chocolate beers, they do voodoo donut maple ale, voodoo donut bacon maple port, like what? They do like a fruit salad beer or something. Like, are people that aren't looking for a flavored beer experience, are giant craft beer aficionados, or even people that are more than just a casual beer fan? Or is that really what they're looking for in the marketplace? Is a whole bunch of that stuff to spend a lot of money on?
No, it is not.
Again, that's just my personal experience. I know they make some different IPAs and some stouts, but besides that, that's my experience. So not very enticing to me, but I think I've had the hazelnut brown nectar maybe once in my life, and that was too long ago to remember. So I'm going to keep an open mind on that. And as Jay said about his Rogue Dead Guy, and I tilted the glass to the 45 degrees, and then 2/3 of the way in, I went straight into the glass, and it still created only that for a head. So far, this looks pretty it doesn't really look inviting. It doesn't really look interesting so far.
Eric, could you put yours in the light? Because what's the color?
The color is a very murky brown, as if mud were in the pond.
Mine has a very amber color to it, and the taste is actually we'll get to that later. Sorry,
you can start right ahead if you want on your review of Rogue Dead Guy, if you would like.
Well, it's 6.8% for the Dead Guy Ale, and this beer kind of reminds me of another favorite of yours, Thomas Metal 75, and that is Arrogant Bastard Ale. Very hot, very potent. Yes. But we're about to get down now. So yeah, but very potent, very flavorful. It has a sort of a sweet, sort of maybe a little bit of a toffee taste to it. Not coffee, toffee. But the booze kind of overtakes it a little bit. Like I said, I know I remember doing a review. And again, maybe sipping this now, I'm still trying to scratch my head if I remember doing this review. So, but yeah, it's enjoyable.
I'm finding it less boozy than John, but I can taste the alcohol there. So it's not like I'm saying it's not
More
boozy
the better,
at all. I think the one you're comparing it with is more boozy than this. And it may. Do you know the alcohol content on the Arrogant Bastard? Is that more like 7.5? I could be wrong about that.
7.5, yes. 7.5, yeah.
So this one I think is a little bit lighter, but I find it tasty as well.
Arrogant Bastard is 7.2.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit
6.8,
higher. So
And
about
they're
a half a
different
point.
styles altogether. They're calling that an American strong ale, but that seems like it would be on the low side of a strong ale, right?
If I drink 2 more of these, and I'll get up in the morning, I say, wow, my car looks very clean. What happened?
Oh God. But what else were you pulling out for flavors? What was the mouth you like to use, John?
Like I said, a very sweet, very malty, flavor to this beer.
Would you say it's an easy drinking beer?
I would say so. I think if you drink 3 of these, yes, very easy drinking, and then stop it right there after 3.
And we got a question. We got that question for Jay. Our good buddy Gabriel Salaya wants to know who is the dead guy.
That's
the Grateful Dead.
Is that little bear, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
I think the artwork on the dead guy is impressive. I put that up on the side. I really think it was well done.
You want to explain the Dead Guy Ale in Michael Komaroff?
I don't know. I don't know the background of how they came up with Dead Guy, Rogue, whatever.
What's your little assessment of the beer right now?
I'm along with John in the toffee taste that you get in it. Maybe it's toffee, a little caramel kind of feel to it. It definitely is sweet. You're getting the maltiness. You're not really getting any hops that much in this, but maybe they don't want to have it, the hops being the impressive part of a Maybach. So the malt, I think, is your lead taste.
Yeah.
But it's a very nice beer. It's flavorful. And I don't find it as boozy as Jean, but you could definitely taste the alcohol.
How's the mouthfeel on that beer to you?
It's medium.
Crisp, clean, refreshing?
I wouldn't say it's refreshing.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, interesting, Michael. Okay.
I don't think it's
that's fair. That's fair.
It's somewhere in the middle. I don't think you wouldn't pick this up if you said, I need something to quench my thirst. I don't think you'd pick up a Maybach and say that's what it is.
Maybe an alt beer. Maybe not a
There must be a style that would be more refreshing, but it's not overburdening. In other words, it's not heavy. It's not a heavy mouthfeel. It's more medium.
By the way, it's 2008, so I apologize, but I'm on the 2008 BJCP style guidelines, beer judging certification program for all you newbies to what that means. My Bach or Jay Terry out for Friday night. Helles Bach.
No, wait. I thought it was just Helles beer of any sort.
Yes, but you could use Dead Guy Ale because it's a Helles Bach.
Well, is this Helles or is it more like a Dunkel?
They're just considering in 2008 the guidelines to be Maybach/Helles Bach. I don't know what to tell you on that, but overall impression they give you
Helles Bach or Helles Doppelbach.
Yes, correct. And the overall impression they give you of that style is a relatively pale, strong, multi-lager beer designed to walk a fine line between blandness and too much color. Hop character is generally more apparent than in other Bachs.
Yeah.
It's thought of as a pale version of a traditional Bach. So that's a really good introduction to what the hell a Maybach is. And if you've ever had another Maybach, congratulations. But what are your thoughts of this Dead Guy Ale as you drink it today, Jay Terrio?
Well, let me tell you. It looks nice, but it's not bright. It's more like dark. When I think of Bach, Helles Bach, I think of golden or straw. When I think of Dunkelbach, I think of this or the Santa Claus Classic or the Birra Moretti La Rosa, those type of things. Now,
it's all anyway, the Bach family, though.
It's all in the Bock family. Now, is it really an ale? I don't think it's really an ale. It's
supposed to be a lager.
Yeah, but they're calling it an ale.
Oh, the Rogue is.
Yeah, it says Dead Guy Ale.
That's probably not right.
Anyway. But
that's why they're fading, Eric. That's why they're fading as a brewery. They can't even describe the beer correctly.
Oh, God.
They're on the way out. We predicted it first on our show, on Eric's link. Next week, you're going to hear they're actually chapter 11 and on the way gone. It may already be happening as we're speaking.
Are you criticizing my reason?
No, I'm just kidding. Jay, I'm kidding. But I actually think if a beer is losing distribution, at some point it will catch up with it.
Yeah, right.
Is it at least worth picking up, Jay Terrio, in what in the flavors and the quality? Should you pick it up if you see it?
Give me 2 minutes and I will tell you.
All right.
So again, guys, while drinking the beer.
Let Jay Terrio talk for a second.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Finish.
Hey, Jay, give us your thing fast.
Damn. Okay.
I'm gonna interrupt you left and right if you don't.
This is a tough crowd.
Go.
Got that right. Now, it's a spicy nose and a spicy taste. I didn't hear anybody talk about that, but it has herbal qualities, spicy brown bread notes. I mean, if you like spicy beer, and it's got to be coming from the hops. I don't mean bitter. Didn't say it. There is a little underlying bitterness, though, I have to admit. You talked about toffee. I agree. I'm saying bread crust. I agree with my own statement. There is even a pumpernickel bread in there in some way. Now, the body's medium. It's certainly not light, but it's medium. I was disappointed in that very poor head build. But anyway, is it crisp and refreshing? No. You want crisp and refreshing, go buy Bud Light or Coors Light or Miller Light or Old Milwaukee Light. You get it. You know,
Or Carlsberg.
Natty Ice or
Natty Ice. I said light. You mean Natty Light. Okay, so it's 6.8. It's very smooth, though, for the alcohol content. I do like the beer. I bought it because you wanted to do an examination. I'm not going to go run out there and pay $2.49 for, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. Is it good? Well, yeah, it's good. I'm drinking it. I'm enjoying it. If you drank 2, that would be dangerous. If you drank 3, that would be just plain dumb. And if you drink 4, you're gonna say, "I didn't know somebody washed my truck." And we know where that story's coming from. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I like it. I'm sorry that Rogues have these problems, but like I said at the beginning, that's not my problem.
Nope.
Eric, I can see his comments. John, you can type your comments if your audio goes bad. But
we're getting your comments. Actually, we should answer your comments too.
Yeah, and I'm going to end this by saying I would recommend this beer to at least try. It's one of those classic craft beers. But it looks like if we came back in 10 years and did a revisit of this, we may not have anything to revisit, right?
Right. Possibly.
That's what Michael's talking about. But it's probably right. It's probably one of those things that'll get bought out by AB InBev or Miller Molson.
Any better with the audio?
At the immediate moment,
right there it is. Did you do something to change it?
I just restarted my computer and relogged on to Google Chrome.
Sounds a little better.
John, you're good so far.
All right, let me do really quickly.
Usually the best way to do it is restart.
John, give us your review of the hazelnut brown nectar.
And then I'll give my impressions of it. They're not stellar, in other words, for me.
Right.
No, they are, but if John's in now, we better get it because he could start cracking.
Yeah. All right, everybody shut up. Okay, here we go. So,
you tell them.
All right. So, very sweet. It's got a nice nutty quality. I'm not getting any hop presence. Those 33 IBUs are completely gone. It could be out of date. I don't know because my date is faded. So if there were any hops in there, I'm not picking them up. I would think at 33 IBUs you would be getting a little bit, but I'm not. Very sweet, nutty, caramel sweetness. In the ingredients, they actually add a little bit of coffee. It's called kiln coffee. So they use a little bit of coffee. I'm picking up a little bit of the coffee in there as well. It finishes semi-sweet, semi-dry. It's very enjoyable. And I'll go ahead and give my rating because I don't know how long this will last. So 95 out of 100 is what I gave it.
No. I'm not going to complain because it's your own personal rating, but I'm not going to be that kind. I'm going to be a little bit the opposite, not that kind.
And I still think our beers are different, Eric, because this doesn't, I mean, it's not even the same name on the label.
Yeah, it is. Hazelnut Brown Nectar.
Oh, well, shit. Yeah, sorry.
Well, shit, son. I had to aggressively swirl
Eric, what's the alcohol content?
Oh, you're asking too many questions.
I know. I
have the glass, Eric.
It is
5.6.
Yeah,
5.6. Because I got to put it into my thing here.
Okay. When in doubt, rougebeers.com. And it is 5.6,
Okay.
as he said, alcohol by volume. I was on the website.
Eric, do you have further comments that are either different or similar to John's?
I was at one point on this web. Here it is. I was on the website, and they use a lot of different ingredients, 33 IBUs, and I will not go into all these different ingredients, but they say it's a nutty twist on a European brown ale. So what I was going to say when I started here was I had to aggressively swirl this beer on the table to even get this amount of head that I got. So it doesn't have a lot of head, and the color is like a murky brown, like muddy waters. There you go. And as John says, very sweet, nutty. It almost has like a hazelnut, kind of like a coffee syrup kind of a sweetness to it. It kind of has an artificial hazelnut kind of a flavor or smell, but it definitely has that roasted, it's like a mild to medium on the mild side roasted coffee kind of a note, and there are toasty notes as well. But basically sweet, brown, bready notes in there.
Is it refreshing?
Sort of. Not for me, at least. I don't know if this is an older beer or what it is. It kind of has a dirty, to me, kind of has like a dirty, grainy kind of a taste to it. And it definitely has that, like I was saying, like that hazelnut coffee syrup kind of a note to it. Like you would use this syrup in a milk to create a hazelnut milk or something. I don't know if that's a real thing, but that's what it reminds me of. Definitely there are coffee notes. It's not really, really, really roasty. It's kind of toasty in a way, mixed with the hazelnut. But basically, it's moderately sweet. It's not cloying, but it's getting in that direction for me. But it's not cloying, which is nice. And it's definitely brown, bready with that artificial kind of a sweetness that I'm not a huge fan of. There's actually, for it not having a whole bunch of head, it's a very prickly carbonation. It's a moderate carbonation. It is semi-dry. It's obviously a sweeter beer, so it's not dry. Obviously, yes, crispness. And is it refreshing? With that sweet content and a little bit of that toasty quality I'm getting from the malts and the coffee, not really. I don't really have a rating at this moment in time, but come back to me and maybe I'll come up with a number. Let's see. Does Jay want to give a? Oh no! Wait a minute. We all did give our little review.
John had further comments before, so let John go.
Yes.
Well, what I was going to say, guys, was that with this beer, maybe it was refreshing, maybe for me, because I just got done doing something very physical just now, and I had it on ice. So I said, all right, this is easy. I'm going to refreshing. But I guess, maybe depends on what time of year you're having it. Maybe any time of the year. I would say maybe, and I'm not trying to change my answer because, I just think just for now, for what I just did, something physical, just that one beer, it was just refreshing going down because it was ice cold. I had it in the freezer and I said, all right, man, this is refreshing. This is really good. But because of the ABV of it and the alcohol content of it, the ABV alcohol content of it and the style of it, yeah, it's not refreshing. It's more of a slowly sip sort of thing more than anything than a, guzzle down like a Natural Light or a Keystone Light, in terms of refreshing beer.
Sure. Do you mimic those thoughts, Michael Komarov?
I do. And it's more substantial than all the beers that were mentioned before, the ones I usually don't drink, but which I am aware of. I mean, it's not like I can do away with, you know, the different light beers and the other macros. I mean, they sell, right, Jay? They do sell, and they'll continue to be on the market where Rogue won't, and that's the difference, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. I'm not trying to personally kill Rogue. I think they've made their error. I think they've made their mistake already, and I don't know if they can save themselves anymore.
What are you suggesting their mistake is?
That they've either slowed in coming up with new beers to put on the market, which people might be willing to try, and they're too stuck on this Dead Guy being their flagship. And it's a good beer, but it's not a great beer. It's a good beer. And if this is your flagship and the distribution is not continuing, problems are upon you.
As I said earlier in the review, I think a lot of their problem is what gets highly pushed and what they seem like. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't work for this company. We all don't work for this company. But what it seems to me is they seem to do a lot of pushing of these flavored beers. And I mean, I could be wrong, so I apologize. But is there really and there is, I guess, a market for sriracha things because people love sriracha, but do people really want a sriracha flavored beer, Rogue? Were they really requesting and asking for them to make that? Really?
Not I.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on what's killing Rogue, Jay, or why you think that they're not doing so well in your area or otherwise?
Well, first of all, I want to give this beer 95 out of 100, just like John Anile. I believe that's what you gave it, John Anile, right?
He had the hazelnut brown neck.
Right, but we have
a different product, but that was the score he gave.
Yes.
Right.
And 95 is right on the edge of A+, even though it's probably a strong A.
It's solid, right?
Most excellent. Yeah. So, but yeah, I know he's got the hazelnut. But what I'm saying is they make good products. But like Eric's talking about, they did too much funny business.
Yes.
Donut beer, voodoo donut, and bacon beer. And it was fun. It was fun for about 30 minutes. Like when Mork from Ork came to Happy Day. But after a while, people are like, oh, well, okay, I've been to the circus. Now I'm going to go do something else. And so now they're screwed. Like they sent, what they sent me in the mail. And that was, a novelty thing.
Contraception.
It actually says on the bottom, if you send this in, they will send you some temporary tattoos and condoms, as well as occasional news about Rogue, right here on the 6-pack.
All right, that's part of their problem. Who's ever doing this whatever they're doing is.
What kind of beer company sends people condoms in the mail?
They're, I guess, maybe trying to shock people. I guess maybe trying to, maybe be funny. I don't know. I guess that's what they're trying to do. Maybe
You're right, Jean. They think they're like the Alice Cooper of the beer world, and they're hip, and they're cool, and they're edgy, and they're controversial, and they're just shocking everybody, and they're like Miley Cyrus, But it's like, okay, big deal. Your beer is expensive. But your beer is expensive. Your beer costs a lot. It's not that great. It's good. It's most excellent even. But hell,
excuse me. 95, but it ain't great.
But wait a minute.
The company.
Back up the truck. You didn't let me finish my sentence.
Jay, finish your thought.
If you were going to go eat at churches, no. What I'm saying is
not back to churches again. That's what started the first fight. Remember when he was on? He got it down his 2.5 in his scale. Jay, don't do it. Go back to churches. You can't do it. We're not allowing it on Eric's channel. That's what caused the whole thing. And that was a 3-week fight. We don't want it. No churches and allergies.
I really did enjoy that fight, though. But what I'm saying is
it was wonderful.
It was fantastic. It was better than Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman. No, but what I'm saying is,
Ron, you missed it. It was when the guy from England was on, Jay's friend, and they got into a discussion.
Was it Craig? Was it Craig?
Harry.
Harry the brewer.
Okay, yeah.
But we gotta let Jay finish his
Jay
thought
did
here.
a church's analogy to go into Harry's system why he only 2.25 out of 5, and he couldn't justify it, but that was his system, and you have to accept it.
Jay's got a thought about some beer that we're drinking, I believe, right now.
Right.
Whatever.
Check my friends list, and you might have to update your comment about Jay's friend. But anyway,
Oh, Harry's not talking to Jay now? It's gotten to that point.
I am not endorsing, nor am I telling them to say any of this stuff right now, folks.
right.
Okay, that's true. It's Eric's channel.
No,
Let's
wait,
let it go.
wait. I'm just saying, check the friends list. But what I'm trying to say is this. What I'm trying to say is this. Yeah, okay, it's most excellent, but, and that's where I got interrupted. But this day and age, a most excellent beer is not that remarkable. So I can pay $1.50 and get a most. Come on, Eric. I can pay $1.50 and get a most excellent beer. I don't have to pay $2.49 to get the same thing. So I think Rogue has hurt themselves by saying, "Oh wow, we make A beers. They're most excellent, and you only have to pay $9.99 a bomber and $2.50 at 12 ounce, and you get all this wonderful stuff." But then other people on the shelf are saying, "Yeah, but you can get our stuff that's just as good for half the price." So that's what's killing them.
Probably better. I'm thinking. I don't really want to give. I don't even really want to give hazelnut brown nectar in it. Like I don't want to give it in the 60s for a range of a beer because it's definitely not a D beer. But if Michael Kormaroff wrote in his book a 70 out of 100, that would be fine with me. Or
70.
hazelnut.
Okay, now, Eric, I have to ask a question about your scale. Is 70 C minus?
Yes. Yep.
I have to know because everybody's scale is different, believe it or not.
F range for me is anything below a 60.
Okay.
And my A range starts at 90. B's are 80s. C's are 70s.
Okay, as far as this Dead Guy Ale, if you had not had Rogue today, I would not have paid $1.82 for it. That's how I personally feel.
Again, that's
and that's a good price. All I'm trying to tell you is I'm going by what Jay's saying. In my food co-op, I can get stuff for $1.50 that's better than this.
I agree.
Founder stuff better than this.
Is that your thoughts?
Even the one you mentioned, which was the Founders you mentioned that was 7.2, the Dirty
Bastard.
Yeah.
That's cheaper. That's cheaper than this, and you're getting an extra half a point of alcohol. I think that's $1.66. So I'm just to give you an idea of the price, but it can't all be pricing because we're beer reviewers and we have to try it. But the Dead Guy has been here before, and he should stay dead and go away.
Oh, and I catch flack to my church. He's talking about they should stay dead. Oh man.
Is that your thoughts on this on Rogue and the Rogue Dead Guy Ale, Jean H. Pierre?
Well, I won't say most of the things that are being mentioned, but I kind of agree because of the price and how expensive the beer is. I would something kind of avoid it as a plague. Again, it's one of those things as a special occasion type of thing you'll see. But again, the price I pay for it, $2.59 for a 12-ounce bottle or 11.5-ounce bottle. I'm like, for this. And again, it's good, but I think the other styles of this beer or something similar that I probably would probably cost a lot less. But again,
John,
I probably wouldn't buy it on a regular basis. So,
what's your rating? What's your rating for it? Because we all do put our ratings down.
Okay, for this, if I go by scale, maybe 1 to 5, this is about be my scale on this. I would give it a 3.25 on this.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm more with Jean on this than I am with Jay, but I like it a little bit better. I'm going to give it I'm going to give it an 88, which for me is a solid B.
Nice.
I'm trying to think of other Maybachs I've had. I've had other Maybachs better than this. I have. I know I have. I have to think of one, though. I can't think of one offhand, a fast Maybach. But I'm going to give it an 88. And I can tell you what I think is bad. It should be the head was defunct. So, now, again, could it be old? Maybe. I don't know. It's from January, so it's 6 months old. The head wasn't that great. The carbonation was okay, but not terrific. I mean, it was all right. The beer itself, a B is not a bad rating, but it's just not. It could be better.
Yeah. Hey, can you guys hear me okay before I start talking?
John, since you replugged in, John, you're perfect.
Okay. Let me just say one thing here. I agree with everything about what you guys said about Rogue. I think it is kind of a dead company. All of the dates, it seems like, are faded. I can't make out my date. So I think all the products that we have are old. Yep. I think it's a dying brand, like Michael said. And like Jay said, I agree. I think I could go to the store and buy a beer for half the price that's still a pretty decent craft beer. It has better distribution and not have to go out of my way for something like this. So, what do you call it? Dime a dozen, or there's beers out there that are just like this that are reasonably priced that you can find a lot more easily than Rogue products.
You're saying you will run into more beers frequently that are much better than this, right?
Exactly. Although this is an excellent beer, I do think it's old because it's supposedly 33 IBUs, right? I'm not getting any hops with this. It's a sweet, malty, nutty beer, no hop presence. 33 IBUs for me, I should be picking up on the hops, but I'm not. So I think it's old.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that. And I don't know why a flavored beer, especially a brown ale, needs to have 33 IBUs in the first place. But so the other thing about this particular bottle that I have is it says Great American Beer Festival. You see that little guy right there? And it says specialty beer category, back-to-back gold medals. That's all it says. If you're going to tell me that it won medals, you should at least tell me what the hell the year was that you won these medals. You're going to make me go on the internet and look it up. Well, I'm not really that interested. But if you're going to put some information on the bottle, at least be a little bit informative on what the heck it means and when that happened. I mean, there are a lot of companies like.
I like the background music. Can you turn it up?
There are a lot of companies.
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry.
Companies like, let's say, Black Box Wines. No, I'm talking about wines, but they say they've won over 50 medals. And Barefoot Wines, they tell you they won all these awards. Who is running these judging? Who's running these award shows, and how are they getting these medals at these award shows? And
Oak Leaf wine sold by Walmart, and they're saying they've won gold medals. I said, really? A Walmart wine has been in existence since 1 in 4 or 5, whatever it is, and they're winning awards.
I mean, I guess I'm just saying that I wish that if they're going to put this information on the bottle, you tell me what, if it says back to back, you got to give me the years. Back to back when? 1998, 99, 97, 98? Who the hell knows? But the reasoning I'm giving this beer a 70 out of 100 is I think it's just an artificial kind of a sweet taste to me. There's a little bit too much graininess to it, and it doesn't have, now that I think about it right now, it doesn't, I mean, not all ales have to be a really hefty, hearty beer, but in the land of brown ales, I guess I think of more of a hefty and heartier beer. And this just kind of has, when it finishes, a thinner, more watery mouthfeel, and I don't like that in this particular beer. So I think this is kind of a gimmick, and my thoughts are going to stay the same as far as what I view the Rogue Brewing Company to be. Again, yes, they make IPAs and stouts, and maybe I should try some IPAs if I ever do a mix of six on my own.
Where are you going to find them?
I can find them at my local stores, but again, generally they make just the flavored beers. And what I was going to say was my thoughts are staying the same about Rogue Company, which is I think they make a lot of gimmicky flavored beers. Now their chocolate stouts are like actually really good beer, so that's the flavored one to get if you want a good stout. But other than that, it's all gimmicky flavored beers. I'm not going to judge John and LA because this is his personal review at 95, but I personally don't. We're very far apart, but then again, that's what makes beer reviewing cool. The same beer gets a little bit different of a review sometimes.
And I want to be fair. My food company, my food co-op, it's just one story. I went to Whole Foods too, and they just had the dead guy also. And we're talking about a national chain. Now, the fact that they only have Dead Guy, what does that tell you?
Tells you what we're talking about.
I mean, and they have plenty of beers there, more than the food co-op has, and they only had Dead Guy also, and it was $2.25 for a bottle. So
By the way,
they're discounted more than either Jay or Jean paid for it, but still, it's expensive.
we have 4 different viewers watching the channel tonight. John, control the volume on your side of the camera, please.
Is Bart Robinson one of the viewers?
I don't know, but one of them that's here that I think is kind of new. I've not seen him chat on this channel, so hello, good sir, is Travis McGee. And he says, Rogue is overhyped garbage. Medals don't always equal quality. Lots of bull crap awards out there just used for marketing. So I agree with that stuff entirely. And hello to Travis McGee. Thanks for watching.
Hey, real quick, I agree 100% with that statement, Travis. And I was saying earlier I left a comment, but I think I was having audio issues then. Hopefully I'm not anymore. But
You're good now.
Lagunitas is the only company, in my opinion, that can get away with the shenanigans that Rogue tries to pull off. Rogue is like the ugly stepchild of Lagunitas. They try to do what Lagunitas does, but they're failing. And that's what I'll say.
But John, I can give you an answer why. Lagunitas' price point is fair, where Rogue's isn't. See, Lagunitas, for when you buy one of their bombers, you can get it for $4.99. When could you get a Rogue bomber for less than $9.99? So if it's double the price, it's not double the quality. I think Lagunitas is a better brewer than Rogue's ever been. That's my opinion. I mean, I don't know if everybody else.
I agree. You know how I feel about Lagunitas. And I've only had 2 or 3 beers from Rogue. I didn't really like the Dead Guy Ale, but that's been years ago, and I'm pretty sure I got like a 2-year-old bottle. I'm telling you, all the dates that I can get for Rogue seem to be out past their prime. And I can't even tell you what the date on this is because it's faded, which makes me think it's old. See, and the fact that I'm not getting any hops at 33 IBUs also makes me think that it's old.
Mine is etched in the bottle. Eric showed me where it is on the very back.
Yeah, no, I can see the black, but it's chipped off. It's like hieroglyphics. I can't make it out.
I agree.
Maybe yours is so old it just got worn off by the fact.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, John had to leave for whatever reason. We have no clue why.
Can I ask real quickly? What was his score again? I missed that part.
John, I think, said
3.25 out of 5. So he rated it more harshly than I did. I would say that's a C plus, is what I guess. I didn't ask him what his scale is. What would you say 3.25 out of 5 would be in terms of letter grade?
Maybe just
average plus.
Yeah, I would call that. I mean, if you're talking out of 100, that's a 63. That's bad.
Okay, so John was not thrilled with it. I thought it was better. But I think you can do better. Jay, can you think of it?
Took a spelling test and you made a 63. Wouldn't you think you did?
That's an F.
Yeah.
Right.
D.
Jay, what is another Maibach? Give me another one other than Dead Guy Ale that you can think of offhand. Can you think of one? Or John or Eric. Can anybody think of one? I know I've had other Maibachs. I'm positive.
I'm not really familiar with that. I mean, I know what a Bach is, but when you say my Bach, I'm not exactly sure. I guess Bach, I haven't really had.
Bach is the whole thing. Bach is Helles Bach, my Bach. There's just straight Bachs, you know, the ones that are in the more macro types. Have you seen those? Like goat. Who makes a goat Bach? Somebody makes one with a goat on it.
Everybody does.
Does Genesee have one with a goat?
Shiner Bach.
Okay, all right. So Shiner has one. Okay, because I think there's something with the goat being the mascot of the Bach Festival or something.
Yeah, I'm just not familiar with that terminology. The my Bach. Or
now we can actually ask John the question.
We talked about that a little bit earlier, and if I can attempt to go back to that, I can try to find.
Well, my Bach is related to the month of May. Okay.
Well, I'll read this again. From the 2008 Beer Judging Certification Program Guidelines, they say the overall impression is for a Maibach is a relatively pale, strong multi-lager beer designed to walk a fine line between blandness and too much color. Hop character is generally more apparent than in other Bachs, and they also say for the ingredients. The base of Pils and or Vienna malt with some Munich malt to add character, although much less than traditional Bock. No adjunct ingredients, noble hops, soft water preferred to avoid harshness, clean lager yeast. Let's see here, and that's pretty much about it. And they write that there are some commercial examples which they list as Eininger Maibach, Mars Bach, Hacker Shore Huberus Bach. I'm sure Jay was going to correct me. Capital Bach, Hofbrau Bach, and Gordon Biersch Blonde Bach, Smutty Nose Maibach, and a couple of others.
So would this beer could be considered a Maibach?
That's what we're saying.
This beer I would
that's how they
tonight.
We didn't come up with that determination. That's how they market the beer as a Maibach.
Right. I'm just saying, because just sipping it, the Dead Guy's Ale, it was very malty, you know, sweet, but also malty as well. So
is that what you would call it there after hearing that description, Michael Komarov?
I guess so. What I was going to ask John is your 3.25 out of 5. Where would that be as a letter grade? Just so I don't misclarify it.
B minus for me.
Okay, so it just shows you his scale is different.
And that's fine. That is
and that's fine. I had to ask him because what Jay said, he figured out 3.25 and it comes out to 63 out of 100, which would not be a B minus. But I'm going to write it down like that.
Okay. Which would be what, Jay, like a C plus or?
I mean, I'll call that an F. I mean, but that's just a different way of looking at it. Like if you go on Beer Advocate or Rate Beer, they're always giving everything a 3.5. You know?
That's
they don't use they use the bottom of the scale.
Yeah.
It's such a joke that they can have stuff with 8s and 9s and stuff like that on those Euro lagers. How can something continue to sell and be a 3? If it's really a rated a 3, and they have stuff like that. It's insane.
Advocating here. So.
What were you saying, John Anile?
I was just saying I rate. That's why I like to rate on a scale. Like I don't get these weighted scales. William Kepley explained it to me. Like 40 points for appearance, and this weighted out of 5. But to me, it still makes no sense. That's why I go like letter grade, like from my the school system, like 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 90 or 80 to 89 is a B. So I just that's just me. I don't understand these weird scales. They don't make sense to me.
Yeah. Well, I think just in general, we can all kind of agree, and we started in the same exact fashion as we ended here, which is we all kind of don't have very. We don't have a lot of good things that we can say about the Rogue Brewing Company, unfortunately. And I think for me, and at least John Anile was trying to say it, which makes me say it here from my own personal closing thoughts, is good beers. Now we say good as in there's so many other things that you can probably pick up at a liquor store or at a craft beer store that are cheaper or just in general easier to locate that are going to be better than what you're going to get out of the Rogue Brewing Company, whether it's a little bit more expensive or if you're going to go choose a cheaper product, it could very well be better. At least at the end of the day, you might feel more positive about spending less money and not enjoying it than spending more money and not enjoying it. So I will say what John says. So many other good beers, you should try Rogue, but you might not turn into a convert overnight of Rogue.
Okay, want me to give my final point first? My final point is try it now soon, because it's not a matter of if, it's when. They're on their way down. They've already on the slide, and it's just a matter of when. Dead Guy Ale is the only thing that's keeping them in the market now as long as they can hold it. I told you what the person in my co-op said. We'll see how these 5 bottles do on the shelf. They're going to watch it now. If they're still sitting there next week, they will not reorder it. He has more downstairs. They had to buy a whole case to get it, 24. They'll mark those down. And I don't know, maybe it's going to be marked down half price. So it's 91 cents. I'll buy another one.
I agree with Michael. And I want to say this real quickly. Here, do a little experiment. Go pay your $2.49 and get your Dead Guy Ale, or if you're lucky like Michael, $1.83. Then go to Trader Joe's and get their Joseph's Brow Hellerbach, which is 7%, so you get more alcohol, and do those in a blind taste test. Do those in a blind taste test, and you're going to find out right now. That's made by, I think, Gordon Biersch, and that's all I'm going to say. Just do the test. Do the taste.
I saw that Jean came back with something that looks blue, which makes me think it is not Dead Guy Ale, and it looks like a can. What are you closing this discussion out with here?
Not much. Maybe something a little more refreshing, something very easy drinking, world class.
Can it be one of my favorite macros? Let's see.
That's right.
Yes,
Keystone
It's
Light.
Keystone
Yay.
Light. All right.
Hey,
Yes,
he's
sir.
happy about that. Go figure. Woo!
Hey, look, I like, again, that was a fair score for Dead Guys Ale. I think, to me, again, I like the beer, but not overly like, hey, I'm going to bum rush the store, get me a 6-pack. Hell no. The beer.
Sure. So we have I can't even figure out how you tell, and I want to look that up to try to see if we can one day find out who these 4 viewers are. We have 4 viewers right now. I'm going to shout out Travis McGee. That was cool. Thank you. Bart Robinson. I texted this thing. We became friends on Facebook. Do not be afraid and scared. We want you on this channel live. You show up to so many of these examinations as an observer. We want your opinions here live on a Wednesday or a Friday. That would be cool. And as always, Gabriel Salaya, he's here. So thank you all, and to a anonymous one other person. Thank you.
Jay, can you explain to Gabriel Salaya the difference between a lager and an ale? He seems confused.
Uh-oh.
I'll talk.
Tell him. Explain it to him, because
I'll talk.
You'll talk to him off air.
I'll talk to him off air.
Okay, explain to him, because it's not complicated.
Yeah.
But it's
fermentation, bottom fermentation.
That's the mysterious
Don't
guy.
complicate it. It's not complicated.
Bart Robinson says, thanks again, Eric, and I will eventually someday soon join, I hope. Sorry for just responding to you. Things have been a little hectic lately, but no worries, and I know you guys aren't scary. Good people.
Eric, where is our Washington reporter Tyler tonight, who can get Rogue products?
He had some kind of work-related meeting because I think he got himself a job.
Okay, so that's important, more important than these beers.
He says it's about the same pay that he made in Wisconsin, and it's a easier job. So he's happy about that.
So that's good for Tyler, and we'll see him on Friday.
So I think we're gonna go off air here and have maybe a better beer really quick, and we'll see you next week. Which
would that be Carl's
my information? Let me pull out that information for you. We're gonna do. On 8/1, we're going to do Founders Brewing Company beers. Then and then on 8/8, we're going to do Bell's Brewing Company beers. Then we're going to do on 8/15 either store brand beers or primarily Trader Joe's beers. I think that would be extremely cool. That was a Jay Terrio suggestion, and I like that idea. And then
what's Trader Joe's? I never heard of the company.
Just the 22nd of August, in which we're going to drink the beers from Anchor Brewing Company, San Francisco, California.
Oh, I'll wear flowers.
Steam.
Cool.
Steam beer.
They do that one very commonly. So until
John, next week, Jay is doing a combo. If you want to be part with his Taylor Port, was it Taylor?
We're doing Taylor Cream Sherry, and then when we're finished examining that, we're going to jump over and do the Founders beer. We're going to double dip.
All right. I'll be good.
Want to do it?
I'm going to fix me a hot dog and watch the Orioles and Red Sox. I think they're playing tonight on ESPN.
All right.
Watch that on the whole dang game.
Until next time.
So I don't watch regular season baseball, but and nothing else to watch. So
until next time, I'm going to say keep tasting those great beers. Cheers. We'll see you soon.
Goodbye to America.
And it's been a wrap. All right.
Thank you. Good night.
Cheers.